This is Ben McGahee with Yamie Chess. I'm going to be your math teacher today. Yamie Chess is the math learning aid based on classic chess that helps students in math and science education for school. In this lesson, we will learn about adding and subtracting two-digit numbers. Now, before we go into adding and subtracting two-digit numbers, let's look at the place values of two-digit numbers. So the right digit we'll call the place value ones, and the left digit call this place value the tens. So the ones tell you how many ones you have, and the tens tells you how many tens you have. So for example, if you have the number 13, this means that you have 3 ones and you have 1 10. And then likewise, if you have the number 20, you have 0 ones and 2 tens. Okay? So this is a very important concept to know when you're adding, subtracting two-digit numbers, is knowing where the ones place is and where the tens place is, because that's really going to help us when we add and subtract. Okay, let's look at an example. And say we're going to add 12 plus 15. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to look in the ones place for each of the two numbers, 12 and 15. And we're just going to add those together. So we get 2 plus 5 is 7. And then we get 1 plus 1 for the tens place. We get 2. 1 plus 1 is 2. So our answer is 27. So that's all you do. You look in the ones place first, add the ones digits together. 2 and 5 gives us 7. And then you look in the tens place, and you see each of those have 1, so 1 plus 1 is 2. Okay, so let's look at another example. And let's say we want to add 24 plus 61. So again, we look in the ones digits and add those together. So we have 4 plus 1 is 5. And then we look in the tens digits. We have 2 and then we have 6. So we add those together. 2 plus 6 is 8. So we get 85. And that's our answer, 85. Okay, let's look at a more interesting example. And let's say you want to add 42 plus 38. 42 plus 38. Okay, so if we want to add these two numbers together, we start with the ones place first. We have 2 plus 8. And we know 2 plus 8 gives us 10. But 10 is a two-digit number. So what are we going to do? Well, the rule is going to tell us that we're going to write, since this is the ones place, we're going to write the ones digit of 10, that's 0, and then we're going to carry the tens digit, and that's going to be our 1. So we're going to carry the 1. And then what you're going to do is you're going to add these three digits, 1, 4, and 3 together. So you're going to get 1 plus 4 plus 3. So let's see what that gives us. We get 1 plus 4 is 5, and then 5 plus 3 gives us 8. So our answer is 80. 42 plus 38 equals 80. Okay, so let's look at one more example with adding two-digit numbers. Let's say we're going to add 73 plus 19. 73 plus 19. So again, we're going to start with the ones digits, add those together. So we get 3 plus 9 is 12. Okay, so we're going to write the ones digit of 12, that would be our 2. And then we carry the tens digit, that's going to be our 1. And then we just add 1 and 7 and 1 together. So 1 plus 7 plus 1 for the tens place. So 1 plus 7 is 8, and 8 plus 1 is 9. So we'll have a 9. So 73 plus 19 is 92. 92. Okay. So what you learned with adding two-digit numbers is that you start in the ones place first, and you see if the number is that you add together is like less than 10, then you just drop the digit and start with the tens place and add those together. But then notice in our last two examples that when we added the ones digits together, we got a number that was 10 or larger. So that means we have to write the ones digit and then carry the tens digit and then add in the tens place to get this digit. And then we did the same thing here. 3 plus 9 is 12. Write your ones digit, carry the tens digit, and then add those three tens digits together to get 92. Okay, so now we're going to look at the subtracting the two-digit numbers. And with subtracting, it is similar, but a little bit different, because subtracting, you're taking away instead of adding or getting larger. So let's take a look at an example. Let's say we want to subtract 61 minus 21. So likewise with adding two-digit numbers, you're going to start with the ones digits and subtract them. So you're going to do 1 minus 1, which is 0. So we'll put 0 here. And then you're going to start with the tens digits. 6 minus 2 gives us 4. So we get 40. 61 minus 21 equals 40. Okay, let's look at another example. So let's say you want to subtract 39 minus 17. So what we'll do here is we'll start with the ones digits again, 9, and then minus 7. That gives us 2. Then you go to the tens digits, 3 minus 1 gives us 2. So 39 minus 17 is 22. Okay. So now you're thinking, well, that was pretty easy. There has to be something else we need to do in case we can't subtract the ones digits together. So what if the ones digit on the top is smaller than the ones digit on the bottom? So we'll have to do a special example to show that. So let's say you want to subtract 84 minus 45. (84 minus 45). So notice here that when we do 4 minus 5, we can't take away on the 5 from 4 because this digit is larger. 5 is larger than 4. So what we're going to have to do is a little special procedure that is called borrowing. So what we'll do is we'll take away from the tens place for the 8, and we'll take 1 away from 8 and make that a 7. So if we took 1 10 away, we get 7 tens, which means now we have to add 10 to 4 ones. So what's that? 4 plus 10. Or we can write as 10 plus 4. So 0 plus 4 is 4. And then 1, we just carry down the 1. So we get 14. 10 plus 4 is 14. So we make this a 14. So now, since we borrowed 1 10 from 8 to give us the 7 tens, we had to add 10 to 4 to give us 14. So that's how borrowing works. And then 14, we take away from 5, that gives us 9. And then 7 minus 4 is 3. And we get 39. So notice that after you borrow, you start again in the ones digits to subtract, because now the top number in the ones is larger than the ones digit on the bottom, so you can subtract those. And then you move on to the tens digits and subtract those to get 39. Okay, so let's look at one more example just to make sure that we have a good understanding of borrowing when subtracting two-digit numbers. And let's say we're going to subtract 98 minus 59. 98 minus 59. Okay, so let's look at this. So we have 8 minus 9. We can't take away 9 from 8 because, this digit's smaller than the top one. I'm sorry, this digit is larger than the top one. And so what we need to do is we need to borrow a 9 and make that an 8. So we always take away 1 10, 8. And then we're going to add 10 to 8, and that gives us 18, right? So we have 18. And then the next step is to do 18 and then minus 9, subtracting the 1's digits. So that's going to give us 9. And then 8 minus 5, subtracting 10's digits. 8 minus 5 is 3. So we get 39 again. So, wow. So I didn't really plan that out, but looks like we had the same number in both of those, 39. Well, okay, so we've done our adding and our subtracting of 2-digit numbers, and the next thing I want you to do on your own is to try these two problems, where you're going to add 36 plus 59 in the first one, and then in the second one you're going to subtract 74 minus 28. And so feel free to pause the video and take a few minutes to work on these or check your answers, and we'll go over the answers. Okay, so let's go over the first problem. We have add 36 plus 59. So what we're going to do first is we're going to add the 1's digits together. So we have 6 and 9. The 6 plus 9 is 15. And so 15, we write the 1's digit down, that's 5, and we carry the 1. 10's digit, and then we add the 10's digits together. So we have 1 plus 3 plus 5. So we have 1 plus 3 is 4, and 4 plus 5 is 9. So our answer for 36 plus 59 is 95. Okay, so now for the next one we're going to look at is subtracting 74 minus 28. So we always look at the 1's digits first, 4 and 8, and we can't take away 8 from 4. Okay? So what we need to do is we need to borrow a 7 tens and make that 6 tens, and then we add 10 to 4, and that gives us 14. And so what we'll do is we'll take 14 and then minus 8, subtracting these digits for the 1's, and you get 6. And then 6 minus 2 in the tens place, you get 4. So you have 46. So in the first problem we got 95, and the second problem we got 46. So let's see here. We'll check our answers. 95 and 46. So it looks like we got both of our answers correct. So if you got those answers, great job. So this is Ben McGahey, and I want to thank you for watching this lesson on adding and subtracting two-digit numbers. Please stay tuned for more lessons on YamieChess.com. Have a great day.